Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing on our journey here. So I built a couple of buildings on there, and then, yeah. So we got a kind of a silo. Maybe this will be like the storage for the fuel or something. I'm not too sure. I was just getting ready to do the values. So we have, in this one here is where we drop the supplies off. And then, of course, on this side here, it's just where we pick the supplies up. That's all, just really easy. Maybe I'll put something in the middle, and then maybe there'll be like, when you turn it on, some lights will come on and it'll do something. I haven't quite figured that out yet. When it's processing, there'll be some stuff happening when it's processing. Maybe I'll put in a couple small conveyor belts and I'll make a little machine that'll spawn little objects that move along a conveyor belt, so it looks like it's doing something. Right, so we created, in the last video there, we made the values. So on the player we have our food value, right? The value, just what we're able, that's what we're able to add to the factory. So what I did was I took the real estate interface and I just broke it down. I made it really basic. Light. So you got your warehouse storage points, and then these just going to be like your warehouse, your inbound, your outbound, and then your fuel. That's all that's going to be there. So I don't know, or I'm not too sure what this will be. Maybe this will be like recipe tier lists or something like that. Maybe that'll be actually. So that's where I'm at now. That's it. That's all I've done. So what we need are recipes, and we need costs. And that's it. So basically I don't know what we would be making now. But basically, so I have a screen here, right? I put an image and then another image. That's all these are, right? So this one here is the warehouse that I'm working on now. So this is our storage, right? So stuff comes in, and then it tells us that our how many points we have. And then, I don't know, I suppose we could have like a unlimited capacity. And then we could have maybe... see, this is where you can get complicated. You could break it down by commodity if you really wanted to. But then, of course, you need more points to save, and you need more data B calls and all that sort of stuff. So I think to keep things simple, we have our warehouse points. Honestly, I don't even think we need this other button. Yeah, actually, yeah, okay. Here's how this is going to work. So we have our warehouse, and that's where stuff comes in. This is our storage points. And then, you know what? We can do the same thing. Here, let's delete that one. Let's duplicate this. And then let's make this one invisible. And this one here, we're going to call it factory. So all I did was I have a value on there. When the value is true, there's a script in here, and it just looks for the food value on the player, and then it makes that value the value on the screen. So when the value on the screen changes, it should change here. I hope that's the case. It should be. We'll have to test that. Okay, so on the factory, which is going to be this one here. Factory, and then this one's going to be fuel. Alright, and then this one here is going to be the warehouse. So spawning goods, manufacturing goods, and then so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need some different values, right? So this side here, instead, this is going to be the factory manager. Alright, and then now what we need to do is to add in here is we need to add in some an image button. So this would be our, and this would be factory. It's all going to be the same. It's all going to be It's just going to be storage or manufacture. We can do something like that, and then in this one here, we don't actually need it in the warehouse because the warehouse is just going to be for spawning. So with the factory manager, this button here, when we click on it, we're going to insert an object, a local script. Now, like I say, I have no idea what I want this to do. I guess we want to click on it and it'll start to manufacture what we want. That's what we want it to do. So we need a couple. We need a couple of more things. You know what? If I insert a object, let's insert a frame. All right, and then inside this frame, we can have a. This can be. Let's make this electronics. Let's just call this electronics. All right, and then in here, let's go insert object, list layout, and then we want this in there. There we go. There we go. Now, why the list layout? It's just easier for putting information in because we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to insert object, a text label. So, when you click on it, this is going to be our information. All right, this will be our information panel, and then we will do, we'll say text scaled on this one here. And then I don't know what background color we want on it. Maybe green. Yeah, that works. Okay, so this is going to be our information. Let's see, we'll take this out, and that way that's, or whatever. Yeah, we won't put this label in yet. So what do we need? We need the information, and then we need like the manufacturing statistics, right? So we need our quantity. We need two more. So 1 and 2, and then we have, this is how much. Let's see. This is storage. CORAGE. And then this is manufacture. So this part here, you can either, there's a couple of ways we can do this. So we can either allow the player to enter a value, and they can say, okay, I want to manufacture 5, or they click on the button and it just manufactures, which I think we don't want to do that. So here's where it kind of gets complicated. We need to figure out a way to give the player the ability to choose how many. So it's going to be based on the manufacturing points. So information here, this is going to be product information. So that's our product, and then this is going to be how much. How much made, and this will be how much to make. Oh my goodness. So if we say how much to make, then what we also need to do is we need to insert an object, a text box. And then we need to insert inside the text box, we need an integer value. And then this is going to be a quantity. So the label on this is going to be the number value. Now we don't have to put text filtering on this because only the player is going to see it. They're not going to be able. Other players aren't going to be able to see this. So in here they're going to insert, and then we also need a local script. Insert object, a local script, and then we can say, I don't know, script dot parent dot text equals script dot parent dot quantity dot value. I wonder if that will work. I guess we could try that out. And then for manufacture, we need to insert a local script, and we need to say the while true do but we need to say script.parent.text equals script.parent.parent.quantity script.parent.parent.textbox textbox.quantity.value. Let's see. All right, that should work. Let's try. No, you know what? That's not going to work because I have to take this. Put it back. Yes, testing continues. Testing continues. So I think this is a better way of doing it, and that way you grind to get the money to get a house. And then once you have your house, then you can go to the distribution hubs and buy stuff. And then that way, there's two ways to play. You can either buy the stuff and go and sell it around the map. And if you don't necessarily want to do that because there's no mini map, you can just do it all at your house. But then you still have to find an area to buy the tier 2 commodities. So maybe that's easier. I don't know. But this way, at least it's stored. I think that'll be a bit better for the player. Because then you're manufacturing and you're storing your value while you're exploring the map and looking for a place to sell. Oh, I gotta press the button. Alright, so if I turn that to like 333, that did not work. That's why. I wonder if I have to go .text.value. Let's figure that out. Let's see. It's just .text. So script.parent.textbox. Script.parent. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, .text. .textbox. .quantity. .value. Oh, but this is the local script in there. Script.parent.text equals script. I guess I'll probably have to put this in a while loop as well. So if we take this while loop and we put it in here, basically, so there's a value, this value here called values. Once it's on, it turns on all these while loops, and then all the while loops do is they just read this value, and they'll make sure that as you're doing it, it puts it in. There's another way of doing it too. You can do focused enter. There's a few things. So this would be script.parent.text equals script.parent.quantity.value. Script.parent.parent.parent.parent.values. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was it on? That's on? Values. Values. Now this one here should also be values. And where did we get that from? Oh, because when we activate the clicker, it turns on .value true. Ha, that's hilarious, and that's why it was working. Okay, perfect. I surprise myself sometimes. And I just where's that one? And that's this one here. Let's see. There was a blank script that closed on me, and I don't know which. This one here. Okay. The function script. So that's what I'm trying out now. I'm just trying to make the digital factory, quote unquote. So you press a button, or you enter in your quantity, and then you press the button, and it'll manufacture that much if you have the points. So there's still a little bit more code that needs to be made. I'm just sort of going through the thinking and the early designing. Let's say that. This will be part 2. Thinking and early designing. Oof. See if we can get through this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that worked, but something did not work. So maybe it's get rid of that first off. Was it this here? So it kept changing the quantity. box is in the bottom, right? That's if it's off. Oh, yeah, that's if it's off. And then this one here, if it's on, the text should equal the value. Maybe I should reverse this. Maybe I should reverse this and do that instead. And for this one here, that is okay, but maybe this one needs to be the input, because we're inputting it. This quantity is going to equal the text. If I make the text equal the value, then it's going to be constantly reading the value, and that's what it was doing. Whereas if I tell it to wait until there's text, maybe that'll, let's see what happens here. Like I say, this is part of the design. The how do I make it work? The questions you gotta ask. How do I make this work? And then you have to build something. Okay, maybe. You know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Value of type string cannot be converted to a number. Interesting. This is a integer value. Oh, I reversed the wrong one. This one here. We want this here. I'm pretty sure to do that instead. Because as you saw it, it was still, it didn't have the value, but it was still doing the resetting to 0, resetting to 0, resetting to 0. And again, all this stuff, we can have it saved. While true do, we can have this connect to the data save, and we can have it saved while it's doing its thing. This might be a bit fast. I think if we set it up to like the integer change, it's a little bit slower. And it's because this one here, it's constantly waiting for the value to change, whereas the other one only fires when the value changes, and that might be so. I mean, I'll see it. It can get really complicated if I do that, but then that way it saves. No matter where you are, if you suddenly leave the game, you don't lose any of your production. It's the state of your production is saved, and that might be something that is important. Oh, did I press the button? Oh, I pressed the button. Did I press the button? I did not. There we go. So it's giving me this error. So I should probably tell it to wait. If there's no value, I should tell it to wait. Because that's why it's giving me this error. Line 6. Text box. Line 6. Yeah, and it stopped as soon as it entered it. So I should say if while true do I should say if, let's see, script parent dot quantity dot value equals yeah, actually, if it equals equals or greater than, I guess we could say if it's greater than 0, we could say I think I put the else in here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we could say that if it's greater than 0, run through. Otherwise, we could just tell it to wait. Let's see. No. I just want to see if it'll silence that. Let's see. Save to Roblox. So that's the other thing I need to do is I need to go back through it. I need to silence. I need to fix all the hooks because a lot of the hooks don't work right now. And then I need to silence. So before I get to, once I'm done with the factory, this is like the last major build that I want to do in the game for now. And then that should be a decent setup. Then I'm going to go through, fix all the warnings with the vehicles, and then continue on with the infrastructure. So that'll be the next couple of days. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And then I think it'll be a decent start. It'll be a decent start to a project. Yeah. Oh, I gotta hit the button. I gotta hit the button. Yeah, the door's kind of open. They kind of open. Let's see here. So then, oh, look at that. No warning. No warning. So then if I say 33. What happened there? It was the greater than 0. Script.parent.quantity.value. It's at 0 if it's greater than 0. And this one here. Maybe I should say it's greater than 1. Oh, I didn't hit the button again. Ah! I wonder how many times I'll do that. A million, probably. So it doesn't seem to want to work now. Because of this. The script.parent.quantity value. Interesting. Maybe it's because there's the two. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Maybe this. Has to be like that. And then that means this has to be in here. No. What's going on here? We could do this. Let's try that. Let's try that. Right, we're basically trying to say if the value is greater, was greater than 1, we can probably go back to 0 if it works. As soon as you enter a value, it should read it and then pick it up. Right, so now what we're trying to do is so once we're able to do that, then we're able to, again, we need to chase this value through the system. We need to design that that infrastructure, whatever it's going to look like. So this is our manufacturing amount. And then what it should do is, there's going to be a cost, whatever the cost is. It'll minus that to our food amount, and that will determine how many we can manufacture. So that didn't want to work either. Did not want to work either. It doesn't like it. The problem, I don't know why it was giving me those errors. So let's see that again. Let's see this. What the error was. The warning. Because the thing is if you don't solve it, then when I go to look at my errors, there's going to be like 4,000 errors. And those will all be from this. So. Yeah, see, it worked that time. The value of type string cannot be converted to a number. Line 7. And that's just because its value is 0. So maybe what I need to do is I need to add, maybe I should just put a 1 in there. And we'll see if that works. And then maybe it starts out at 1. And then it won't give me that warning. So then I have to make sure that with the math, there's at least a minimum of 1 in there. So this is where we say, okay, now is there a button maybe that allows you to change the number higher and change the number lower? Maybe that's it. Because at the very most, we only need 4. You know, we can only fit 4 on the truck. So I just wanted to see if it was gonna... It did. It gave me 2 warnings, but that was it. Okay, so maybe that's what we need to do now, is we need to add 2 buttons which are going to make quantity go up and the quantity go down, instead of letting the player enter it. So let's see. So if we do that instead, let's see, server storage. So we still need this. We still need this. This can go in here. And script.parent.quantity.value is going to equal... Yeah, let's change this up a little bit here. Is going to equal script.parent.manufacture.text. There, we can do that. Okay, perfect. So manufacture, and then this information here on storage. So product, so that'll be how much that we have. So then we need to add another integer value. And this is going to be storage. So this one is the one that's going to need to save. And we'll start, we'll gift the player 1. And then this here, we'll take this. And then we'll also make this, but instead of quantity, this is going to be storage. And then this is going to be storage.text. Script.parent. That's not going to work. That's going to work. Perfect. So now, where I'm wondering if we go to over here. And we grab the timer script. Is this the one that we made save? No, this isn't the one that we made save. It wasn't here. This is the one that we made save. And it saves. Where does it save? Does it save here? No. Does it save here? There it is. There it is. Okay, so this, I don't even know what I'm thinking here. This save. So we actually need it to we can't save from the interface. We have to add a folder into our service scripts service. We need to insert object, a folder, and we need to call this factory. And we actually need to insert a script. Insert object, a script, and we need a save script. So this is how we're going to save each value. So basically we'll take this here, and this is going to be our food data, right? And then we go into our factory save. Let's see here. And then we need this stuff here, our data store. All right, so we also need to go into a replicated storage. We need to insert an object, a folder. We need to call that factory. And then inside there, we need a remote event. And we'll call this manufacturer. All right. So we will say local event equals game dot replicated storage dot factory dot manufacture, and then we need to say event dot on server event connect function, and then down here we need to say end. Okay, so the function, what is it going to do? It is going to we'll say player and variable, and we'll say if variable, then, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to end this variable here, just like that. So this is going to be all inside one variable. So what is this variable going to do? And now this is our, oh, that's cache. All right, I should be able to change that over. That's funny. It says food data equals cache.value. That's a mistake. All right, we'll do one more here, and then we're almost, this will be part two. Part two is almost done here. Okay, so I realized that that's the mistake there. Let's fix that right away. Food data equals, what's this cache? Oh, perfect. Never mind. I don't have to change that. All right, cool. Okay. So whenever this fires, it will save. And so we can say so this is how much we have in storage. This is how much we have, how much we want to make. So let's see here. Let's take our, kind of jumping back and forth here, kind of, let's see, we'll take the image button. We'll put that back in there. So then we just click on this to manufacture. So what we need now is we need to duplicate, we need 2 more buttons. So let's go insert object, text button. Okay, and then this is going to be more less and then manufacture. Just like that. All right, so more. Less. Manufacture. All right, so I guess this image button isn't going to be an image button anymore. It's actually just going to be an image, just like that. Okay, perfect. More, and then this will be add. Subtract. So, how much to make? So add. Now this could be done through this local script here, or through another local script. Let's create another local script. So we'll go insert object, local script. This will be functions. All right, and then we're gonna say script dot parent dot more dot mouse button one down, right? Connect function. We're gonna say script dot parent dot quantity equals script dot parent dot quantity plus 1. So we'll just try that for now, and we'll say like we'll say local. We'll put this inside the button. True if click, and we could say else. I don't even think we need to do that, to be honest. I don't know why I would need to do that. Dual function it. I think we can just do this here. My only concern is, all right, so then when we press add and then subtract should be the same one. Let's just double this up. Dot less. All right, and then this will be -1. But what we should say is if script.parent.quantity.value is greater than 0, then else maybe that'll work. So we could do something like that for here, actually. We could say, I don't know what I need that for. We could say if script.parent.quantity is greater than 0, then else. And we probably don't need it for the adding, to be honest. But for subtracting, definitely. And that way we don't go below 1. Let's try that. Yeah, so at this point in time, basically it's just a matter of, and then when we press the manufacture button, we'll say fire server the variable. and that's when we'll save everything. We'll save. That's where we'll see. We'll see what we do here. Because at this point you're spending points, right? So I don't want the player to be not real estate. I don't want the player to lose their production. So when you press the manufacture button, what it will do is it will sync what you've spent. Yeah, that's what it'll do. It'll do that. It'll do the transaction there, and then there will just be a manufacturing time. So the quantities won't be available until the manufacturing time is finished. And then I guess I could save that manufacturing time to prevent. So you have to stay in the game. You can't just log out, log back in. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. All right, where are we at for this anyways? Holy moly, going to our usual runtime here. Okay, so this is part two of the factory setup. As you can see, we've got the big buildings here, and we're actually starting to work on the factory interface itself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Already running into issues. Factory. Electronics. Local script line 6. Script.parent.parent.parent. Okay, and then that'll have to be for there. All right, let's try that one more time. Yeah, and then again, if you don't have a lot of time, you can come in, you can set up your manufacturing, and away you go. So that's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to fire the save, like where in the loop, the while true loop, and then I have to slow that down. So it's saying it can't be, it's giving me the error now, but if I add, what's going on here? Script.parent.quantity, oops, dot value. Whoopsies. Helps, that helps. And then value, 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 value. Okay, that should clear up all that. All right. like I say, all I'm trying to do now is just set up the first values. If we can get that set up, then in the next video, what we'll do is we'll expand. We'll connect the manufacturing button, which is going to allow us to manufacture, and then we'll connect all that to the data save. I'll have to figure out where I want it to save. And then it's going to require fuel. So it'll take fuel, and then it'll take time, and it'll manufacture products. And then on the warehouse, when you click the warehouse button, it'll tell you how many quantities you have available. And you'll be able to spawn them in over here. On the warehouse side, down in the bottom here, and here and here. Right, up to 4 crates, obviously, and I think there's hay on this side too. Maybe we'll do. I put a bale of hay over here, but we could do something like this, food or something over here. It's big. This is a big facility. No, it's just giving me an error now. What's going on here? Value of type string cannot be converted to a number. Script.parent.quantity.value. Line 7. It says value of type string cannot be converted to a number. Why not? Why not? Script.parent.quantity.value equals script.parent.manufacture.text. Ah, there's the problem. Manufacture, and then there we go. Okay, so that should solve that one, and then line 8 is the same thing. Okay, let's see if that goes. And this is gonna do it. Hopefully this will go through, and then this will do it for this video. So as you can see, it's just a little bit of trial and error at this point in time. All we need to do now is connect the manufacturing button and say when we press it to fire the variable, and then connect the variable to the factory script that we have. That's going to handle all this stuff. The spawning of the objects, everything that we want the factory to do will be handled through that script. So yeah, so I guess there's 2 ways to do it. We could create a local script and we could bind it to the factory and throw variables just to the factory, or we can create a script on the server like that and do it this way. Like I say, there's a few ways. There's always more than one way to go about getting results. I don't know why this isn't working. Value of type string cannot be converted to a number. Value of the string cannot be converted to the number script.parent.quantity.value is a number. I wonder, is it because they're integer values? Script.parent.manufacture.text. Script.parent.storage.value. I wonder if it's because it's in the in there. Let's see, script.parent.quantity.value should be script.parent.quantity.value plus 1. Didn't I have to change this around? Didn't I change this around? Yeah, I thought I had to change this around. Let me see here. I don't know. I don't know anymore sometimes. Oops. But that is going to do it. That is going to do it for, let's see, Control X. Yeah, as you're watching, this is what I need to do probably for the next little bit, hour, a couple hours or so, to just figure this out. So we'll run through this. This will be the last time we'll run through this, and that's it. So hopefully the facility is large enough. I think it is. This expansion's good. If I do one more on here, it'll be like maybe a bigger shop or something for the truck. And then that way you could pretend to, like, you know, give it an oil change, check the grease levels, all that stuff. Maybe for the work on the equipment. Yeah, because I want to add construction into the mix. So of the materials that we'll be able to manufacture, we're going to be able to manufacture other materials as well, pipes and concrete and other stuff that we're going to need in other areas. So it's all gonna essentially come through here. So that's why I'm hoping. Oh, look, I didn't get any. I'm hoping that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it worked. Except for that one didn't work. There we go. There we go. Figured it out. Figured it out. Yeah, and then the storage.value. And then the storage is just going to be, we'll have to figure out how to connect that. Excellent. Well, what a perfect way to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribing. You guys are awesome. So this is what you're going to be able to get. Massive. And then, like I say, I might even build one more big building just for the tools and the equipment. Another big shop. But that's going to do it. Thank you so much. And I will see you all in the next one.